Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, I want to tell you a true story about a young man named Derry, and just everything he's went through in his life and how he's overcome it and where he's at nowadays. It's truly amazing. Well, starting off at the age of 5, his mother enrolled him in martial arts. So in martial arts, so he's doing great in that. But by the age of 7, he was hit by a car, and he was actually placed in a body cast. And but a few months went by. He was in intensive care. He's doing better now, and then they released him from the hospital. And the doctors, they weren't sure if he's had a full athletic career, but he moved away from that. By the age of 10, he became a first-degree black belt in martial arts. So he really took a step up. Then at the age of 10, he started boxing. So he entered the sport of boxing. And then by the age of 13, he was a junior Olympic gold medalist. And he was Derry was just really just defeating the odds of where his life was once, and he's just taking off. And by the age of 17, he was actually rated #1 in the United States of America as an amateur boxer. And it's like he came from so far, and what he's doing now, it's like he did so many amazing things. And in 1997, he was 17 years old, rated #1. And what happened was he was moved to Las Vegas, Nevada by some promoters, and he actually had a bodyguard when he was 17 years old too, and he was being prepared to be managed by Jamie Foxx, the actor. It was all being in the process, but and from 1997 to 1999, he was rated #1, representing the United States all around the country and around the world, winning. And but in 1998, something happened. It was 1998. Things happened in his match. He was feeling kind of some headaches. He had some headaches. But he moved on from that. He still was boxing, and he still was winning. But come 1999, he had MRI performed on his brain because he wasn't feeling good. And I guess the doctors, they found bruising all over his brain, and it was like real bad. So automatically, career was over. He was rated #1 at the time, and it was right before the 2000 Olympics, and it was like that was it. It was over. So it was kind of real hard for him because he did sacrifice so much in his life, and it's like that was it. And but so a couple years went by, and he actually attempted a comeback as a professional boxer, and I believe he went 3-0 as a professional boxer. And before his 4th fight, he had some feelings in his head. He wasn't feeling that good again. He had these headaches, and he went ahead and boxed, and it didn't go too good. The fight ended in the first round, and he had to stop because his head wasn't feeling that good at all. And after the fight was over, he was taken back to the hospital, and he had an MRI performed on his brain, and the doctors, they found bruising all over his brain. They said, if you ever get hit in the head again, you would die. So, bam, career was over right there. And it was he was actually put on medication. Derry was put on medication, and for 7 years he suffered through seizures. So it got really, really, really bad. And it suffered through seizures, day-to-day seizures. He still had to work during this time, but at the same time he had to go through these seizures. And 2010 came. He had another MRI performed on his brain, and the doctors actually saw healing on his brain, so they removed him from this medication. Now, with this medication, what it did to his body, the side effects were just horrible. One of the side effects was it takes away your emotions inside. Where, for instance, if you're at a funeral, everybody feels sad. You don't have feelings inside your body. It's kind of people with split personalities taking the medication, so it's kind of like it was real bad on his body, and it was like he couldn't be himself. But he stayed positive, stayed happy throughout his life, always stayed positive. But like I said, he was removed from this medication in 2010, and it was like right when he stayed off the medication, he was happy, living his life back again. And 2 months later, he was going back to the boxing gym to get a workout in, and I guess he stopped by the store before that. He had to get some stamps for his dad at the store. I guess he went to the store on his way back home that morning. It was July 3rd, 2010, 9:30 in the morning. On his way back home, I believe it was Las Vegas Boulevard and Windmill. A drunk driver went through a red light, and it was a head-on car collision he was in. 55 miles an hour, the other car was driving. And the only reason why he didn't die in the car crash, he didn't go through the windshield, was because the steering wheel was aimed right at his chest. So it just kind of like bruised his chest and crushed his chest in a sense, just about. And the brake pedal smashed in and went through his shins. And but he never hit his head. But still, he was just about out of it, and he squeezed himself out of his car door. I guess he hobbled across the street, and the ambulance got him. Ambulance came and they put him in a stretcher. They said it's a miracle you're alive. They thought his neck was broke. They first thought his back was broke, but he was okay in the stretcher. They took him to the hospital. He was in the hospital for 3 hours. They actually released him after 3 hours because the other guy had no car insurance. So it was like real bad. And so he's on his back at his home, stitches on his shins, I guess, and he was not doing in so good shape. He said he was in the most pain he's ever been in his life for 3 months, and it was not good at all. But after 3 months goes by, he's back on his feet again, living his life happy as can be, and for 2 years goes by, he's doing great, living seizure-free, no more seizures, no more medication, no nothing, and everything's going great. Then in 2012, while his mom was visiting town, they went to the movies. I guess he left his cell phone at his apartment. So we went back to his apartment and to get his cell phone, and something happened right there. I guess he had 8 seizures and he went unconscious. Automatically, just something, his brain kind of exploded on him and went unconscious. And his mom rushed him to the emergency room, and he was rushed to the emergency room, and the doctor did everything to his body that had shocked his body because it was not looking good for his life. So they had shocked his body, taken him to the point of death, as in strong medication, and it put him to a coma. He woke up 3 days later, and his brain was okay, but he could not walk. It was like his balance was gone. He could not walk, and then they teach him to walk again. But then, so he was sent home, and it was 3 days later he woke up and he received a miracle. All his balance, walk, talk, everything came back to him, and it was really amazing. And the doctors have no explanation. And one thing he said it was faith. He always had faith. He said faith. He never lost faith that one day his body would be healed again. And now his life is going really, it's amazing. He's a personal trainer now, and he's doing some great things in his life. Derry, he's really taking off. He's at a gym here in town called Syndicate MMA. He's a personal trainer, and he's doing amazing things now. His body's getting better and better. And the whole thing about this is Derry is, well, first of all, my name is Jason Derry Ingwalson, and Derry is me. And I was just, that's me. And I just wanted to come up and share that with you. And it's like, you know, it's really amazing. I'm really blessed and really thankful. And I'll continue after I was out of the hospital. I was getting myself better again, staying at home. And my older sister was helping take care of me. And I walked across the street to this coffee shop. And I'm writing a book about my life right now. I'm writing a book of everything I've been through, everything I've achieved, and everything I've been through pretty much. And what I did, I wrote a poem. And one day while I was writing my book, basically, a poem, something came to my mind, and I decided to write it down. And I'll finish off everything right here with my poem. This is what I said in my poem. First of all, I'll let you know my faith in my Lord above. That's my whole life. That's where my life is at. I mean, that's where I'm saved. That's where I come from, and I'm so thankful. And this is the poem that came to my mind while I was writing my book. I set my book down and I just started writing. And 45 minutes later, this is what I came out. I came out with this. It said, it's time to stop wasting time on what's behind, because if we want a happy life, then sometimes we'll have to go through times of strife. And you can't give up and you can't walk away. You can't look around, because in this place we are not going to stay. At times we might get lost and feel like we completely lost our way, but whatever you do, don't lose hope and don't lose faith, because if you keep pushing forward, God's promise will always keep you safe. And never forget that you're a winner and you're a survivor, because you are daily made brand new by God, who is our one and only perfect designer. And whatever it is that your heart desires, as long as you live a God-filled life, I know personally for a fact that God, He ain't no liar. So if your life desires to live a happy God-filled life, you gotta first open your heart and allow God in. And when you do, that's when your life officially begins. And that's when everything you do will start to prosper. And in your life, days will come that'll be hard and tough, but I have good news for you. Because when these times come, just get on your knees and put your hands together, then focus on God and say a prayer. Be blessed, everybody. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.